Welcome TimeBeat Breaking News Channel. Here are our breaking news today.
1. Border tensions are at their highest level in at least 15 years. 2. Witness testimony in the Derek Chauvin trial resumes Monday.
USA. Border tensions are at their highest level in at least 15 years. As thousands of children remained backed up in detention centers and border agents released a growing number of migrant families into the United States, the Biden administration arrested more than 170,000 migrants at the southwest border in March, the most in any month in at least 15 years and up nearly 70% from February. Last month, more than 18,700 unaccompanied minors and teenagers were apprehended after crossing the border, including at port entries. In March of last year, there were almost twice the 9,450 minors detained in February, and almost 4 times the 4,635 unaccompanied minors who crossed. The sharp rises highlighted the administration's political and logistical difficulties in handling the influx of people from Central America. Many of the children want to join their parents, relatives, or other acquaintances who have already arrived in the country. However, the growing number of families traveling together is posing a new problem for the administration. Most migrant families and single adults crossing the border were turned away for much of the winter due to an emergency rule placed in place by the Trump administration during the pandemic. The number of families arriving is increasingly rising, with border officials witnessing over 53,000 migrants traveling as families in March, more than double the previous month's estimate of 19,250. Around the same time, the U.S. actually lacks the capacity to detain large groups of families, leaving border agents with little choices other than to release them with instructions to appear in court to have their cases heard in the future.
Witness testimony in the Derek Chauvin trial resumes Monday. In the trial of former officer Derek Chauvin, who is charged with George Floyd's murder, jurors will return to the courtroom Monday morning to hear further evidence from witnesses. Last week, jurors heard from 19 witnesses, including those who witnessed Floyd's death and testified in tears about their efforts to intervene on his behalf. Several Minneapolis police officers testified on what they witnessed at the scene after Floyd was arrested, police training, and the officers' use of force on Floyd, including Chauvin's boss at the time of Floyd's death. From the razor wire encircling the courthouse to the protesters still occupying the streets, this is a city still dealing with the fallout from George Floyd's death and the high-profile trial of the officer convicted of his murder. Hundreds of posters of Floyd's face stare up at the Hennepin County Government Center from where they're hung on the security fences strung with barbed wire, depending on the day and how strictly police plan to enforce the laws. When the trial is over, city officials intend to reopen the intersection. Activists are concerned that allowing this to happen would cause Floyd to become yet another black man killed by cops. Authorities are clearly concerned about what could happen if enraged crowds demand justice and change once more, as shown by the security measures in place.
Thank you for watching. We help you stay up to date all the news hourly. Please subscribe our channel to follow up the latest one.